How are you, Moses? You look cute.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm wearing about 4 hours worth of makeup right now.
That face did look beat. It did.
It did. I've been taking a hit. You look great. You look like you just cyberbullied some 12-year-olds on Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
That's what I'm about.
This is very fitting for Twitch. This is the look. I didn't know how weak my sauce was until I've had to follow you on stage.
Oh, boo, that's so cute of you.
Yeah, like I've lied to hosts before and be like, oh, I have a thing, just so I didn't have to follow you. Because like once you get up there, it's impossible to go up there with my bullshit. Like, I grew up pretty poor, guys. Because you do a really great thing where you are very present. You talk to the crowd in the moment. How much of that carried over to the special, which is something that's like this big thing in your mind? Where you're like, this is taped forever.
I really feel like it still carried over. Like I just really still tried to stay in the moment. I think a person that really helped me with that, like randomly, is Bill Burr. I had called him like maybe 4 days before, kind of like freaking out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like on some real like nerd freaking out stuff. And I was like, can I send you like the whole thing? And can you just like listen to it and like tell me if it's terrible? And he was like, I don't need to do that. You know what I mean? Like he was just like kind of on some chill out. And he said to me, the thing that he said that stuck with me was, he said, all you're doing is marking where your set is at this moment in time.
That's a really great way to think about it.
He was like, you're gonna feel like you missed things. You're gonna watch it and feel like, oh, I should have said that, or I flubbed this line. He's like, it's just impossible not to do that kind of stuff. But he's like, all you're doing is marking where your set is in this moment at this time. And that's all it is. And once I kind of embraced that energy of it, it took a lot of that kind of weight off of me and allowed me to just be natural in the way that I am. And I think it truly did help it all.
Yeah, to be present in that moment. That is a great way to think about it. I'm like, hey, listen, this is where I'm at right now, and not think about like, will I get another special after this? Will I be able to tour?
Right, exactly.
You taped a special in Atlanta versus Boston, where you're from. What was the thought behind that?
I just didn't want to be bothered with my family. I just felt like it was it was just too many. My grandmother had 11 kids. I grew up there my whole life. I've got tons of friends, and I just didn't want to be overwhelmed by people. I wanted to be able to focus on the thing I had to do.
Yeah, and just perform in a fun city. You ever feel weird about talking about people on stage knowing that they're in the crowd, like family members, like, actually, this is how it happened? It's like, well, your version of what happened is not funny.
Right. And no, I don't. I think the only person I'm concerned about when it comes to stuff like that is my girlfriend, because I live with her.
Yeah.
But other than that,
No, don't worry about it. So have you had family members reach out to you and be like, actually, why did you say this? And you're just like, I don't care.
I mean, I don't ever put them in it in a real way. I have 11 cousins, so I'll say one of my cousins. Now, if you the guilty party, then you just know you the guilty party. You know what I mean? I'll say my aunt. I have 7 aunts, like I don't ever put a name to the person,
Right. You're not putting people on blast. It's just,
no. I don't put anyone on blast.
I remember a very specific set. This is when I was like just getting to know you. I think it was 2017 Montreal, which is where comedians would be today if this wasn't happening. It's the biggest comedy festival. You were part of the New Faces. Me and Jack were in the balcony, and it was very rough because everyone was bombing their New Faces sets. This big opportunity you get where you basically tell the world who you are. You get 5 minutes, and it was rough, and people were bombing left and right. And then you got up there, and you're supposed to do like the cleanest version of your set of like, what would my sitcom be? And you just started talking about your divorce in a very real way and crushed harder than I've ever seen anyone crush a New Faces set. Incredible.
Oh, that's true.
What was the thought going before that? Because I only talked to you after. I didn't talk to you before. Of like, was there a fuck it part of you, or was there of like, this is the only thing that's gonna work right now?
I mean, that was the set I was gonna do. That's the set I had been preparing to do, to go into New Faces. And like, I'm just a firm believer of like, I can't be doing shit I don't do. Because if I win doing something I don't do, then I'm always going to have to do that thing, and I'm going to be miserable. And if that's the case, then I might as well go back to working at the John Hancock mailroom. So like, why even set down that road? So it was kind of like, I just got to present this my way and like do it how I do it, because that's the way, if I'm gonna win, I want to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I felt like also I was invited, and you know what I do? Like I haven't changed it up. So why would you think I would get on stage all of a sudden now and come out, talking like I'm some super clean comic? Like that just didn't make sense to me to approach it that way.
Right.
But before it was nerve-wracking and people were being crazy, and I knew that most of those people were going to bomb. I've never got to say this publicly, but I really did.
Please.
I knew that most of those people were going to bomb, and not because they weren't good, but because of the energy that was back in that room. It was nuts. Everybody was on edge. It was the craziest vibe I had ever felt. And I'm like, you can't have fun on stage like this. This is insane. So I left that room that they were holding us in, and I went down to the bar, and I was drinking and just like talking to people that were like coming in and trying to like go sit down and stuff. And I was just hanging out, treating it like a regular Thursday night at the Improv, because I was like, I can't be bothered with all this craziness. And I think that helped like alleviate my brain of all that nut stuff. Like, I think that's an important thing. If there's any comic watching, it's like, put yourself in the energy that works for you. Like, don't feel like you have to sit in that madness, because it was insane.
Very important that I learned from you. And one of the only reasons I got to talk to you in the first place was that because we have a lot of mutual friends, so we do the same shows, but you always would talk to just anyone that's around. And I happen to be anyone right before you go on stage. So you're talking like yourself and not like, so I grew up half Irish and half Persian. Like,
no.
Hey, no one talks like that.
Yeah. And that does help. It's like, if I like that pace. Like, I like to be in the middle of a conversation. They're like, you're next. And I'm like, cool. And I can just like go up and like do my thing. I like that pacing of energy because it does keep me in the moment, Have
you been out to any of the protests?
No, I have lupus. So one, I just really haven't been out much, period. And not want to really be risky out there like that. So no, I haven't. But not to say that if I didn't, I necessarily would be. Like, I've gone to them in the past, and I just find myself to be more effective in other ways.
Yeah, as far as I think that's what a lot of, people with money could do is like, put your money where your mouth is, and not like insert yourself into the conversation. Have you seen any white cringe allies online? Because I have seen some.
I mean, online is just all cringe everything. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, the whole thing is just like, ugh.
Like, no one's asking for that. No one's asking that you step down. And
also like that. Yeah, for real. And also like the explanations of like, it's like, white people are always annoying with information, no matter the information. They're just like annoying with information. Right. And it's like just all the research that they're newly doing and just trying to like tell you about yourself a little bit is just like annoying. And there's a lot of moves that I'm like, I don't know if we really cared that much about that. Like, don't be taking all the flags away from the NASCAR people. Like, I get no car could have a Confederate flag, but don't tell people they can't wear one. One, that helps me identify people who I should not be around if I did go to a NASCAR rally. It's very easy for me to know no. Also, as a Black person, it's unsettling. Like, don't take away all the white people's, like, these poor white people need something, because you take away their Confederate flag, next thing you know, they're lynching. Like, just let them hold on to their little piece of whatever they got. And that's fine.
The flag is better than murdering a human being.
Right. It's like, maybe, no, you can't have it over a state capitol because that state capitol represents everybody. But if Bubba wants the Confederate flag to drape over his man boobs and represent him, by all means, let him do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, the flag is a helpful reminder. It's a contact tracing for racism of like, this is a racist person. Stay away.
Yeah, I don't want to
get into a conversation and learn about this person.
No, I love when I see someone ride by with the flag in their car and a gun. It's like, don't drive by him.
There you go.
Go that way. Good to know.
So as far as like, I mean, white people are stepping down from voiceover jobs. Aunt Jemima's canceled. I mean, in the bigger picture, how helpful is that? Or is that a cop-out and like, I don't have to do anything else because I did this one thing?
I think it's a little of both. I do think it's helpful in the sense of like, I do think it's helpful for white people being aware of like, my privilege is getting me things that other people are not having access to. And if I actually want to be helpful, then I need to recognize that and then do something about it and not just recognize it. So I do like the action behind it. But then again, like you're saying, it goes too far. Like we had to cancel Uncle Ben. And that really messed me up because one, it's all perception. I never saw him as a manservant. I thought he was the runner of a rice company. He had a suit on. I was like, oh, this is a distinguished Black man that made good rice. Like I really never put any other stank on it but that, and I was proud to eat Uncle Ben's. I'm like, look at me supporting this Black man and his good rice. But
got a good
apparently
suit.
it was some white people rice.
Right. Well, I think it's for white people. It's like, well, now I don't have to do the really uncomfortable thing as far as like standing up for Black people in my life because I did this one thing of this thing that has nothing to do with rice that white people don't even eat. Uncle Ben has too much seasoning.
Right. That's what I always felt like it was the Black rice. And I had all like the Black stuff in my home. We had Uncle Ben's. If it had a Black face on it, we was buying it. And that was probably the white man's propaganda. But I did like having a Black man on my rice.
It's comforting. So I think, yes, sure, white people should not play people that are not people of color in voiceover.
But I don't even know about that. I don't 100% agree with that. I just think we're at a time where these things need to be shifted. And so they're shifting. Yeah. But I hope we get to a time where like people could just be doing what they want. You know, like I think that's the ultimate goal. Like I don't think it should be a thing. Like I was talking to Alex English and he was like, well, I'm tired of straight actors playing gay actors. I'm like, well, why can't this acting? You know what I mean? I was like, I think the problem is there's not enough roles and gay people aren't getting roles, and so it's frustrating. And then you see a straight actor playing a role and you're frustrated. But I would like to see gay actors play straight actors or straight act like because that's the art form, and a part of why you want to act is to be something that you are not and portray something that is not necessarily you. So we got all the white people just being white and all the Black people just being Black and all the gay people just being gay, and we can just watch motherfuckers in their actual life and we don't really need to see them portray or project anything else, you know? So I hope we progress to a place where we are a true equality happens, where we're fine with all that. Because I think we start to tiff and fight over those little things because we're not experiencing equality in our day to day. And if we were, then we would care way less about that kind of stuff.
That is very, very well said. I mean, yes. I mean, that is, I 100% agree with that. The other thing is like, I learned this from touring with like you, Jack, and Chris is like, yes. Do you think it'd be positive if white comedians stepped down from doing a Black accent on stage?
I just think it's dumb and hacky. So like, just don't do it because it's stupid.
Anyone not familiar, a white comedian who looks just like me would be like, yeah, man, y'all don't even know this shit. And it's like, what are you doing? What? And I remember.
Yeah, just don't do that.
We were in, I think it was San Diego, and you were just like, no, from the back of the room. I think
just
that
don't
might
do
be
that.
helpful. That might actually be helpful.
Indeed.
This is really great talking to you. I mean,
this was fun.
I really trust you. I trust people that have called me a bitch to my face. Right? I remember one time we were at Jack's taping, I was wearing a quilted dress shirt. One of the many mistakes I've made, and you're like, Moses, you're such a bitch wearing a quilted dress shirt. So I respect you ever since then and love you more than anything. So thank you so much for doing the show. Donna's Daughter is a album you already have out, and then newly 3 in is on Netflix right now. Sam J, thank you so much for taking
Thanks. Bye.